Hey, I'm John Granato. That's Lance Zierlein. We are on the bench, mornings on ESPN 97.5 and 92.5, talking some Texans football. But first, hit that subscribe button. Listen, we got another extended look at Davis Mills. 10 of 16, 115 yards. Saw some missed, he had the sack when he threw it away, but that really wasn't on him. I think he's a little bit better than I thought he was going to be, especially early on here, especially the early reports from training camp, Lance. He throws a nice ball. Sometimes it looks like he's looking downfield. I'm okay with what Davis Mills has done so far.
I think Davis Mills, the concern with him is the concern you're going to have with any inexperienced quarterback, and he is inexperienced. I mean, only 11 starts in the college level. Being smart with the football, understanding what he can and can't do against NFL coverage. The turnovers are going to be a concern. He's had some practices where he's had a lot of turnovers. So he's a developmental quarterback. What he does have, though, is he's got arm talent. He's got size. He throws a pretty football. He's got a buttery smooth release, which you could see when he was at Stanford. Like, he's got passing skills. I think the question you have is, how is he going to do when the pocket gets a little hot, and how is he going to do when the windows are tighter? Can he throw guys open? Can he make the throws that NFL quarterbacks have to make when they don't have great wide receivers? Because usually there's tighter windows, and I think you're going to see tighter windows with the Texans. But from a standpoint of a guy who can throw to an open wide receiver, it's going to look pretty. And he's shown some good touch on deep throws or throws to the back of the end zone where there have been men in coverage where he gives the wide receivers a chance to make a catch. He's not underthrowing them, which is good. So I see some things I like. I don't see a starter in the NFL right now. Not right now. It's going to take him some time. I do see some things I like. It's just the problem we have, John, is the thing that we talked about from draft day. He's clearly a developmental quarterback. Do you have time this year to really get a good sense of who he is as a developmental quarterback?
Yeah. We'll talk more about the quarterback position, but first, let's talk a little bit about Cars for Kids.
Cars for Kids, your chance to help people out, help young people with a second chance at a diploma. All you have to do, if you have a car or pickup truck or motorcycle, whether it's running or not running, get a hold of Cars for Kids. Go to carsforkids.org, and they will come out and then they'll haul the vehicle off. Whether it's running or not running, you are going to get a tax write-off. So you get a chance to write off the car and not the kid with carsforkids.org.
What do you think the offense? How much different is the offense going to be this year from last year with Tyrod Taylor as opposed to Deshaun?
I mean, it's going to take a step back. I think it will force them to really find ways to run the football better. Tim Kelly right now has got to figure out how to run the football because he's got an offensive line in the preseason that's not opening enough holes. But Phillip Lindsay's also going to have to figure out he's got to be a downhill back. Mark Ingram we saw get in there and go downhill, and he looked a little better. Phillip Lindsay hasn't found running room. This offense, without Deshaun Watson, they're going to be forced to run the football and eat the clock up. And I know the Texans want to do that. They want to control the ball. You can't control the ball unless you have, a good controlled passing game. But the thing that makes that easier is going to be a good running game. And right now, John, that's the concern for me is Deshaun Watson could help you move the ball through the air. I don't know if you can rely on Tyrod Taylor and these wide receivers, to keep the clock spinning and keep the chains moving. I don't know that that's going to be very effective. I think they've got to run the football.
Yeah, we saw Conley turn around too late. Either Tyrod threw it too early or Conley turned around too late, whatever the case may be. But that stuff will come a little bit better. I'm pleasantly surprised at the offense, if you want to know the truth. Mm-hmm. And it'll be interesting to see Titus Howard almost exclusively now left guard.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That side of the football should be able to run. You should be able to run on that side of the football.
Well, that's the question. I mean, when you look at Titus Howard, Laramie Tunsil, and Max Sharping, three guys when they came out of college that I noted that all of them were really talented in pass pro, but the run blocking was something that needed to get better. And so I think it's a concern right now that Laramie is not a great run blocker. He's okay. Titus Howard at guard, the question is going to be, is he strong enough? Max Sharping's never going to be a plus run blocker. So, from a talent standpoint, Justin Britt, Titus Howard, Laramie Tunsil, from a talent standpoint, they're in good shape. But I don't know if run blocking's their if they're well suited to be a consistent run blocking unit, that's what they've got to find out. And if Titus Howard is going to be a guard, Charlie Heck got the start over there at right tackle the other day, and they mentioned this week in camp that he has made the biggest jump in terms of his ability this whole camp. So I think what takes place, Roderick Johnson was cut. So what takes place at the tackle positions is going to be interesting to me to see how where Marcus Cannon fits in. Does Lane Taylor fit in on the offensive line when he's healthy? Where are they going to play? Titus Howard, is he going to end up at guard or tackle? There's a lot of question marks still along that offensive front, but I just know that running the football is something that's going to have to take place, because even though Tyrod Taylor, I think he's looked pretty good too. Like, I'm actually pleasantly surprised with Tyrod Taylor, who hasn't been a full-time starter since 2017. Running the football is going to have to be taking the ball away on defense, running a football offense. To me, that's got to be who you are this year.
We know, especially, you got to play as a unit. Lane Taylor not around. Marcus Cannon hasn't been around.
Continuity, man. You got to have it.
They got to get some reps together to get to know each other,
for sure.
And that just hasn't happened this preseason. So that could pose a problem once we get into the season.